of young people who is called by Holy Father to gather together in Seoul next year. Today, I will present of a process of preparation of our work, but I will not spend these few minutes giving a room full of communicators a general introduction to Korea. You know better than most that a story begins not with a list of facts, but with a human journey. WYD Seoul 2027 describes itself as a pilgrimage of hope. That is the thread I'd like to follow today. For us, this pilgrimage does not begin when a young person boards a plane for Seoul. It has already begun, because before asking others to come, the church must first be willing to go out. The theme of WYD Seoul 2027 comes from the words of Jesus at the Last Supper. Take courage, I have overcome the world. From this verse, we draw three guiding values: truth, love, and peace. Truth draws us into a living encounter with Christ and gives us the courage of the martyrs to remain faithful. Love safeguards the dignity of every person and respects all creation. Peace rejects violence and opens a path toward reconciliation. Each value carries its own call: the courage to seek truth, the courage to practice love, and the courage to build peace. These are not decorative words placed behind our logo. They shape the way we are preparing the entire event, and they are already taking visible form on the road to Seoul. The first pilgrims on the road are the WYD cross and the icon of Our Lady. This icon is Salus Populi Romani, which is referred also to today's Mass by His Excellency Archbishop's homily. After arriving in Korea in 2024, they set out again in 2025 on an international pilgrimage across 8 countries in Asia and Oceania. Since February 2026, they have been traveling through every diocese in Korea before returning to Seoul in 2027. By the time pilgrims arrive, the cross and icon will already have prepared the way. They remind us that Christ always goes before us, and that every true pilgrimage begins with an encounter. The cross and icon are not the only ones traveling. We call this initiative Invitation on the Move, an invitation that goes out to meet people where they are. Its principle is simple. Seoul must go out before it asks the world to come. Since June 2025, a small delegation, a priest, 2 young lay volunteers, and 2 CPBC staff members has traveled to 6 countries across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. In each place, they have prayed with the local young people, listened to their stories, shared cultures, and visited schools, parishes, and care facilities. This is more than a promotional campaign. It is preparation through encounter. It says to young people, you are not waiting alone, and you do not have to walk alone. 3 things give WYD Seoul 2027 its particular character. First, WYD is returning to Asia for the first time in more than 30 years, since Manila in 1995. For an entire generation of Asian Catholics, this may be the first WYD held within realistic reach. But the church in Asia is not one story, but many. In some countries, a small minority learning to live in dialogue with an ancient religious traditions. In others, one of the church's largest and most vibrant communities. WYD Seoul 2027 draws on that whole spectrum of experience. Second, Seoul will host the first World Youth Day in a society whose culture is not historically Christian. Interreligious dialogue is therefore not a program added for the occasion. It is part of the church's everyday life in Korea, and it will shape a spirit of the event. Third, peace. Korea remains a divided peninsula. We do not speak of reconciliation as a task completed in the past, but as a journey still unfolding in the present. This gives particular weight to our call to build peace, not as an abstract idea, but as a daily practice. The days in the diocese will take place from 29th of July to 1st of August 2027, allowing pilgrims to encounter local communities throughout Korea. The main events will then run from 3rd to 8th of August, following the familiar rhythm of previous World Youth Days. From the opening Mass and days of catechesis to the papal welcome ceremony, the Way of the Cross, the Vigil with the Holy Father, and the closing Mass with the Holy Father. Pilgrims registration will open in October 2026. Media accreditation will open separately, provisionally around May 2027, broadly following the procedures used at previous World Youth Days. For now, the important message is simple. Please encourage your organizations and correspondents to prepare early. The pilgrimage to Seoul is already underway, but how can this pilgrimage remain visible, connected, and accessible even to those who cannot be physically present in Seoul? To answer this question, we are building an integrated media ecosystem for World Youth Day Seoul 2027. The Communications Division of the local organizing committee is designing the overall media framework for the 2027 event around the 4 connected pillars. The press center will support journalists and production teams covering the event on site. The host broadcaster will provide the technical foundation and produce the international signal for distribution around the world. WYD Now will official digital live programming and global distribution. And CPBC, Catholic Peace Broadcasting Company, as the official Catholic broadcaster, will foster collaborating among Catholic media and serve as a bridge between faith and communication. Each pillar has a distinct responsibility, but none stands alone. Within this wider system, WYD Now is being developed jointly by the Communications Division and CPBC as a project for digital live programming and global Catholic media collaboration. Its task is to connect official live signals, programs from different venues, partner content, and Catholic media around the world. The goal is simple. Even young people who cannot travel to Seoul should be able to experience World Youth Day in their own language, through the local media and communities they already know and trust. So the next question is not only what is WYD Now, it is also what can WYD Now mean for you and for your media. WYD Now begins with a practical question. Whether we come to Seoul or not, what can our media receive and what can we contribute? WYD Now is not simply another YouTube channel. It is an official digital media collaboration network through which Catholic media around the world can access reliable information and official content from World Youth Day Seoul 2027, adapted to their own languages and local contexts, and connect the stories of their young people back to Seoul. Its first goal is to create one trusted point of connection and one clear path for cooperation. And this cooperation does not begin when the main events open in August 2027. It begins here at this Signis World Congress. Media organizations that register with the WYD Now will receive information in stages. First, we plan to share key dates, preparation updates, and downloadable official materials such as logos, photographs, and promotional videos. As the event approaches, we will provide the information needed for broadcast planning, technical specifications, guidance on the use of official video and live feeds, subtitles and language resources, schedule changes, and urgent notices. Most importantly, we want to establish a continuing point of contact, somewhere your question can be received and directed to the right person within organization. In an event of this scale, access to information matters, but access to a trusted relationship matters even more. During the main event, many things will happen at the same time. Major celebrations with the Holy Father, the youth festival, catechesis, prayer and cultural programs, and countless stories unfolding in streets, parishes, and local communities. WYD Now will bring together these official signals and partner contributions, organize them into several official live streams, and make them available to Catholic media around the world. Participation can take different forms.
So media is used by travelers and also by pilgrims, so people who are traveling for religious reasons, in order to get information, how to get there, where to stay, what are the times of the Mass, is it possible to be confessed, etc. I used a lot as relationship and community. So media are not alienating people, of course they can, but if wisely used, can help people stay together. Most of the time we travel, we bring with ourselves in our heart a lot of other people, friends, people back from our school, our university, my family, etc. And so we can leverage on and orchestrate digital media to help such communication being active. Media's experience, memory, and representation. A lot of pilgrims are using, for instance, mobile phones, like I've seen many of us have done these days, to take pictures, to collect videos, and then maybe eventually sharing with others. Media is devotion. So several media are being used, for instance, to read the Bible or the liturgy or other religious activities. So media are nowadays fully integrated also within a pilgrimage experience. But we are experiencing or experimenting also media as conversation. So especially using generative AI, in some cases we might organize meaningful interactions also with a bot. You understand I'm a frivolous person, so I'm not only focused on tourism, but also on fashion. And I will devote a few minutes telling you something about fashion. And this is the platform, together with several others, we have established, Habitus Fidei, which means the dresses of the faith, but means also the virtue of the faith. It's a platform that explores the deep connection between wearing and faith. In this image, for instance, you see Adam and Eve after the sin, so they realized they were naked, and then people getting with confraternal dresses and then overdressed by the mantle of the Virgin Mary. But all the presidents and the full government pay homage to the Señor de los Milagros during the procession in Lima, and there are more than 1 million people participating, and the diaspora of Peruvian people sets up confraternity of Señor de los Milagros everywhere in the world. And so we have set up with embassies and consulates the possibility of setting up a pop-up exhibition in collaboration with the local confraternity. So here you see something which starts digital and moves physical. It's very important to combine them all. Here are some of the contents of the exhibitions. People can download the instructions in Spanish and English so far. We have created the environment. We have the 3D immersive representation of those settings for the people to check. And this is the newest one, if you like, is Francis and the Perfect Robe. So it's an exhibition which uses extensively digital media, but also the physical objects to be touched and enjoyed physically. So if you have time, come to Lugano in October. This is my invitation. Start planning a tourism activity in Lugano next October to visit the exhibition. This is the book which has been published this week. And we have several ad hoc videos online and other digital materials which accompany and help people understand the way St. Francis experienced fabrics and clothing and also being naked, for instance, in front of the bishop and of the father. And I'm creating, with the former General Minister of Capuchins, also a course about the Franciscan presence in the area. So here are some images of St. Francis. Hopefully you might get interested at least to visit the website or to visit the exhibition next October. Some references, and thank you very much for your attention.
Nous remercions le professeur Cantoni pour ce brillant exposé. On ne peut pas l'écouter sans être enrichi. Et j'en suis le produit. On peut résumer son intervention en disant que le tourisme, qu'il soit physique ou digital, aujourd'hui devient un lieu théologique, un lieu d'expression de la foi. Merci, professeur, pour cet exposé. Maintenant, nous allons appeler la sœur Marie-Lucie Okowoulou, j'espère que je prononce bien, qui va nous parler de l'art inculturé, des festivals et des médias comme bien-être éco-culturel dans leur rapport avec l'évangélisation. On peut l'applaudir.
Your Excellencies, my dear participants, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mary-Lucy Okowoulou, a member of the Daughters of Mary, Mother of Mercy congregation. I'm happy to be here in your midst to make my presentation on Inculturated Arts, Festival and Media for cultural eco-well-being and evangelization. My own case study is on Our Lady, Queen of Nigeria. I communicate through art, and as a religious, I always have reflection in the morning, and I combine it with what we call artist dates. And during this artist date, I visualize some thoughts or imaginations that troubles me, and I try to showcase it through art and to communicate to the whole world. So now this presentation is about the Inculturated Art, which I've already mentioned before. And it has many stages of this journey, and I tried to bring up some things that arose during one of my artist dates. And that is what we see in the next slide now. The next slide, please. As you can see, the situation, this is the situation of my country, Nigeria. I painted this oil on a canvas, and during the meditation, I had to come up with another visual by burning it. As you can see, we can interpret it through our different perspectives. But my own, I am seeing love, oneness, unity, understanding, and other things fading away. It's burning, and it's just the situation of my country, Nigeria. And I think we need a mother figure. Can we see the next slide? We need a mother figure and to rescue this situation. But the problem is that the mother figure I've been seeing in some of our churches in Nigeria are white, foreign. I said no, how about our own? So, due to the fact that they are Eurocentric and they look like celestial beings, and it causes cultural disconnect. Because for me, Mary feels foreign, not like one of us. In a multi-ethnic ethnic country and wounded nation, there should be art that does not feel alien, to heal and to unite. Why? When sacred images don't reflect the people, faith can feel imported, not incarnated. People struggle to say, Mary understands my life, my pain, and my culture. I don't think a foreigner, but I know she's a heavenly being though. And I have a story to tell of my experience when I was on a mission in Ford, Japan, in south west Italy. I was called by the Sindaco, the mayor, to restore their statue that was damaged. And the title of the statue was Madonna del Bosco. So when I was restoring the statue, they emphasized on the fact that I must put on the earring. This is the statue that was sculpted by an artist and placed on a tree. And a shepherdess went one day and saw the Madonna del Bosco on the tree, and Mary told her, gave her a message. And time to time, the people of Foggia, they have their feast of Madonna del Bosco celebrated every 26th and 27th of August. They call upon her intercession, and she really helped them, especially during the COVID period. So I asked myself, how, if Madonna del Bosco intercedes and rescues the people of Foggia, Our Lady Queen of Nigeria will equally rescue the situation of our country, Nigeria. So we can see what happened in the next slide. I embarked on a research during my master's degree, and the method I used was qualitative method of in-depth interviews, focus group, critical thinking, observation, and art-based research. And voices across Nigeria, I interviewed some bishops, priests, and people from different ethnic groups. And their voice deepened my conviction that sacred art must speak the language of people it serves, remaining faithful to Catholic devotion. After, I created a Marian iconography in an Nigerian attire. So happily, see what happened in the next slide. Happily, I got an appointment with Archbishop Fortunatus Wachukwu, who is here with us, who is the Secretary of Propaganda Fidei. Happily, I showed him the picture of the work I did. He told me, no, this is not a Nigerian, that she is a Chinese, that she is white, that if it's to say I should just abandon everything and begin afresh and go and make Mary to be like a typical Nigerian woman. So he gave me some emphasis, like some insights, mentioning the book of Prophet Isaiah, talking about the vision of Isaiah, chapter 6, 1-8, that he saw an angel of 6 wings, flying with two covering the down part, 2 covering the face, meaning that no one can dictate the color or gender of heavenly being. Though Mother Mary is a Jewish, what I painted was white too, not even like the color of a Jewish, but that Mother Mary is a Jewish, but now she's in heaven, that no one can dictate her gender or color, but that whenever she wants to appear in a country, she assumes the nature of the people of the country and appear. So he gave me some instances of that of Guadalupe and Fatima and other apparitions. He now said I should go and make Mary to be like a typical Nigerian woman. So my eyes opened the more with other insights. So with my background in cultural studies and fine arts and the insight of the research, especially that of Archbishop Fortunatus, I was able to know that Marian art is culturally shaped, not universally fixed. It taught me that art forms identity and belonging. It revealed the distance a foreign image can create in faith and devotion. It deepened my understanding of enculturation in the church, and it gave me creative tools and power to go boldly and reimagine Mary within Nigerian cultural identity. We shall see the next slide. So the next slide is the stage 2, which is the process and sculpting. I began with the conception. I continued to pray. I sketched. I made the armature building. I made the molding with clay, though I had to cut the head later to concentrate on the head so that she would be very, very beautiful. You know, Mother Mary is very beautiful. And You can see the processes, the mold making, fiberglass, resin, casting, finishing, painting, and protective coating. After which, the Mary was ready, really like in our attire. This 214 cm in measurement, the height. The attire is gown and hair tie. The green signifies growth, life, ecology, hope. Orange, vitality, gold, honor, royalty, and sacrifice. The motifs, you can see it, the beats, the patterns, which signifies motherhood and queenship. So Jesus Christ is holding the scroll, written Luke 4, 1-8. Talking about the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has sent me to bring good news to Nigeria and to the poor, and to set the captives free and proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. So he is pointing at the mother, telling us that she is the beacon of peace and unity in our country, Nigeria. So the stage 3 was installation and evangelization. She was installed by the Bishop of Enugu on 18th of October 2025. So there are different channels of evangelization. The first one is the website, which you can scan the code here. The pastoral aspect in Enugu Diocese, the Signis conference, as you can see the picture, which was organized by Signis African President, Professor Walter Ihejurika. That was last year, through YouTube and some other carnivals and training of the youth and other platforms. And how can I make her more relatable? I was not yet satisfied. I want her to be closer, to be closer, to become more intimate, familiar, and more beloved. So I embarked recently on another journey of making her wear a real fabric apparel and other features. I just did this one recently. And the title now is Our Lady, Queen of Nigeria in Nigerian cultural apparel. We can see the final product in the next slide. Look at her here. I think she's wearing a cloth like me now. It's not sculpted. I sew the clothes. So I think she's more closer now with Jesus Christ in his senator and cap. So inculturated arts and festival and media, when integrated, is already integrated. Mary is being carried in procession now, dancing in a pilgrimage. And this is already in YouTube. So the art is here, the media is already here, and the festival that we are celebrating. When they integrate, we can make Marian devotion culturally comprehensible, foster inter-ethnic unity, make faith visible, audible, and participatory. Why? Because the gospel must be seen, celebrated, and shared in language already understood by people. So I have another plan. That is my research project for my master's now, which is making a magnificent image of Mary that will turn to be a pilgrimage center. This is the architectural plan of it. Now it's coming from the small statue in parishes to a giant monument in a whole nation. I hope that all of us will be coming when it will be ready by the grace of God. So a visible, beloved Queen of Nigeria can become a shared symbol across ethnic divides, even races, all the parts, all people all over the world. I hope they will be participating. So this is the closing prayer note. The pamphlet, which is also part of evangelization, that was approved by the Bishop of Enugu for prayers. In conclusion, this is the gift of inculturation, faith taking flesh in culture. Inculturated arts, festival, and media serve as a vital channel and key instrument for cultural eco-web and evangelization. Mother of God can be translated into life and culture of a people without losing her holiness. Rather, she becomes more intimate, more familiar, and more beloved. And we tell one story with many voices, as we can recall Archbishop asking His Eminence this morning, what color is Our Lady of Kibeo? He answered that the seer told the artist that is the combination of the skin tone color of different races in one Mary. So my question now is, what color is Our Lady, Queen of Nigeria. Then the references, and if you want to access the website, you can scan the code. Thank you all.
Encore plus fort les applaudissements, parce que c'est une création qui mérite félicitations. Et cela est très pratique. Il y a un philosophe français du nom de Blaise Pascal qui disait que si les chevaux avaient des dieux, il les aurait peints en chevaux. Et ce que la sœur vient de dire, sœur Marie-Lucie vient de dire, rejoint nettement ce que nous avons entendu ce matin du cardinal Antoine. Et nous allons prendre 2 questions ou 2 interventions uniquement, et après nous allons donner la parole à nos excellences, son éminence qui sont ici, pour pouvoir dire quelques mots. Après cette section très pratique, nous les avons avec nous, on peut les rencontrer à la fin pour pouvoir approfondir les thèmes qui sont très importants pour l'évangélisation. Encore une fois, on les applaudit très fort. Alors, deux personnes, s'il y a des questions, quelqu'un veut intervenir? Oui. Vous dites votre nom?
Okay, I just want to comment on what Sister Mary Lucy created, and that is the image or the sculpture of Our Lady. I've been wondering, in many countries, the image of Our Lady is associated with one apparition or the other. And seeing the image of Mary, the Queen of Nigeria, I was thinking that it's something that is very creative. It is something also that we can associate with the date, 1st of October, which is the day of the independence of Nigeria. We can associate it with that, and not only calling it Our Lady, Queen of Nigeria, but also to add Our Lady, Queen and Patroness of Nigeria. Then also to look at the communication dimension, we can also see that in this very image, the power of visual communication. Inasmuch as our Blessed Mother Mary is a universal mother, but we can also associate it to our various cultures, to our various nations, to make it more particular. So once again, I want to commend Sister Mary Lucy for this beautiful art. And I also want to say that many Nigerians are yet to know about it. But since it has been launched in Enugu, I hope that other parts of the nation will get to know it too. Congratulations.
So good afternoon. I am Leticia from Brazil. And I want to congratulate all the speakers. It was very important and inspiring reflection. I want to make a question to Sister Mary. First, congratulations on the initiative. I made this reflection with the young communicators from Brazil about how Our Lady is an example of communication. Because if you stop to think about every time she appears for the people that she wants to communicate the God message, she starts using the clothes and the image from the people. So from Brazil, we have Our Lady Aparecida, and she's black, and she appeared during the Portugal colonization in Brazil. We have Guadalupe, who is indigenous features as patron of Latin America. We have Our Lady of Fatima in Portugal, who appears as a Portuguese companies, and we also have examples in Asia and other countries. So I always say that Our Lady has the best wardrobe that heaven could create, but because she understands the image is also a communication, is a way to approach people, and I think your reflection did that very well. My question for you is, did you find any difficulties and criticisms in order to create this initiative and identification? And how did you overcome these situations to bring this idea to life? That is very inspiring. And congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I talk? Okay. Thank you, my sister. Yes, I got at least 2 criticisms or opposition. The first one was a priest that, after presenting it in a place that, in a pilgrimage center, a priest asked me, said, all the Marys that are here are associated with one apparition or the other, but the one I made, there is no association of any apparition. But it happened that the name of the pilgrimage center is Our Lady of Perpetual Help Pilgrimage Center in Ubu. So my response to him was that that pilgrimage center where you came for this program, that the artist, the Mary there, did not appear anywhere. The Mother of Perpetual Help was painted by an artist before the history began. So that was the response I gave to him. And the bishop was so happy for my response, the Bishop of Enugu. Then the other one was from a reverend sister. She told me, that this Mary is black, that because Archbishop gave me the color palette, he said cappuccino. So I painted her, and the sister was saying that this Mary is black, that they want a white Mary, that I should make her to be a bit white. So I told her that she should travel to other countries and have experience. That happened to me when I was in Senegal. I saw black Mary. I refused to pray my rosary. Not until I studied cultural studies and fine arts, I now understood. So that was how I conquered the 2 criticisms. Thank you.
Alors, merci beaucoup. Alors, ce sont des cas pratiques. La jeunesse, le tourisme, l'art comme lieu théologique, lieu de communication de la foi. C'est en cela que nous pouvons résumer tout ce que nous avons entendu aujourd'hui. Et nous avons la chance de les avoir avec nous. Étant donné le programme qui avance, le temps qui avance, nous allons lever la séance de maintenant pour la suite du programme. Le Père Kofi. OK. On dit merci à nos 3 panélistes qui vont maintenant rejoindre leur place et on les félicite encore avec des applaudissements. Thank you. Alors, nous allons demander à l'Assemblée de se lever pour rejoindre, je crois, le restaurant.
Thank you, Father Ernest. Thank you for bringing the Francophone touch and the French touch to our plenary session today. We are going for lunch now, and we shall go to the very places we went to yesterday for lunch. The tent for all participants and the restaurant for the dignitaries and delegates with your name tags. Please, what will change today is as you step out, before you go for the meal, they also give you a coupon. And so the coupon, you send a coupon to where you are going to have the lunch. So let's take note of that. The leaders of the Kenyan delegation would like to meet you as you step out for lunch. We are leaving for the Memorial Center at 2:30. So please, the bus leaves at 2:30. We are not boarding at 2:30. The bus leaves at 2:30. So let us be quick with the lunch and join the buses for the Genocide Memorial Center. And as I indicated earlier, don't go with your bags so that we will make the security screening faster for ourselves. Shall we now rise as I invite Bishop Balthazar to take us through the closing prayer and bless the meals for us. Your Excellency.
Please let us stand for the prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, merciful Father, we do thank you for this day, for your blessings. You have been with us, and thank you for this fraternal gathering. Thank you for the meal we're about to share. Bless us, bless this meal, bless our plans for your glory and the salvation of the world. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
So we are grateful to Bishop Balthazar. He is actually the bishop responsible for communication for the Rwanda Episcopal Conference. He chaired the local organizing committee to plan this. So shall we clap for him for the leadership role he has played? The Bishop of Kabwa Diocese, Your Excellency, thank you. Shall we now go for lunch?
Thank you.